It's going to start taking older men going out to these younger dudes and catching them at their very impressionable ages. What is the boys and girls clubs or anything like that, and start showing them how men's supposed to move. Because if we don't, if those men don't know how to move, then it goes to shambles. Prime example, around whenever the drugs and all that start coming out, or whenever all the stuff that people start realizing, once we take a man out of the household, we can make the household crumble. From that part, once it got in that one man psyche that I don't need to be there, I can do my own thing. Then the son grows up.
Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back.
Yeah.
So it's taking us to go out and mentor young guys that are broken from women that are broken from the men that they got with that made them baby daddies.
Right.
It should have been the father should have been showing them how to be a man. Not
ultimately, that's what's going to have to happen. Ultimately, if the dudes,
do you think that that's going to make women to be more traditional and to fix their issues?
No.
Maybe the effect probably won't be seen now. But I think once the older men get to the younger dudes and they start enforcing the family type construct, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take some years to catch on, but it'll grow back because when they deconstructed the family household, it didn't happen overnight. It took years and years and years.
Let me bring it back.
You're describing the step baby.
I'm gonna open it back up to the panel.
No. I just say
open it up back to the panel. I got one more follow-up question.
I just say take care of somebody else's kids. I said mentor them. That doesn't mean take care of them.
Do you think that is going to stop women from having children out of wedlock?
No.
Yeah, because you'll teach a new generation of women what to do, so they'll do better.
How are we teaching a generation of women what to do?
Well, a new generation of boys and girls of what they expect, and make sure that they follow those steps to make sure they don't end up in these situations. I do think it's too late to try to do a reverse. So we need to make sure that the youth that's going to grow up walk into a situation with all the information they need to do things appropriately. So we don't have.
I agree with her. It's a bit too late. Because remember, even the current generation of kids, most of them are coming from single parent households raised by mostly majority women. Those same women are feminists. Those same women are feeding those girls and boys feminist ideologies. So the cycle is going to keep going for everything to change. I know we're having the conversation about it. That's a start. But I believe for everything to change and go back to the traditional gender roles, the whole population right now would have to be wiped out. And then a random egg and sperm would have to come together and start afresh. I'm telling you. But remember, it's gonna take like 1,000 years, right? But as long as we have single parent households, it's never gonna stop.
Have these type of issues. Right now, we're doomed.
Shout out, Lawrence.
We need men to teach women. We need men to teach men how to be men, and we need men to teach women how to be women. I just want to.
I think once you teach men how to be men, they will inherently start picking women who fall in line.
Men need to teach women how to be women. So women don't have no type of role in this.
Not teach them. What I'm saying is, if you start seeing more men that start going up to women, and they start taking a personal investment on their sexual activity, and they start taking all the precautions they can take to not have kids, and once women start realizing that men aren't once they realize that men aren't out being willy-nilly,
the women
it's not realistic, but he's not wrong.
The women today said they don't care what you think. They don't care what you have to say. They don't care. They don't care what you're doing. They don't care what you're trying to sell them. They don't care.
Kendrick, you basically saying that the men who left the men are supposed to teach the new men how to be men.
No.
Like
what I'm saying is, I'm not
teach these young men how to be men because they left the men.
What I'm saying is, ultimately, some men is going to have to step up to correct the problem. I'm not saying,
but they can't correct the problem by only talking to men, right? If we let's pretend that 99% of men right now are average men. They're not making good money. They're dusty. They're broke. They're gay. They're dirty. Like all the words women use to describe men. They're not leaders, right? Let's pretend that they are all those things, and then we have the men who are doing it right to come teach the men to do right. Even if all men became leaders today, they became rich today, they were, looking good, dressed well, they are not YNs, they're not committing crime, but the women stay the way they are, nothing will change. Because eventually, if a man gets with the wrong woman, she can corrupt him. Because if all the men are good men, but the women haven't changed, haven't done any work on themselves, but they're supposed to get together, that's going to be an issue. So we can't only focus on the men. We need to teach the women as well.
Go out and marry somebody with kids. If you do, that's cool. That's your choice. I'm not against anybody living their life. What I'm saying is mentorship is, hey, let me talk to you and teach you things to take home. Taking care of somebody is buying and doing different things. All I'm saying is mentorship.
He's right.
Mentorship.
I don't think men should care.
How do you convince a man? How do you convince another man to then say, hey, I want you to take responsibility for another man's child?
No. Mentor is not the same as responsibility. Mentorship is not the same responsibility.
How long is this mentorship program supposed to last? And then for it to be effective,
results are shown.
Okay, a realistic mentor. When I was coming up in a impressionable age, I was around older men who weren't my father, telling me, "Hey, this is how you lose when you get older." And they were my mentors. They didn't take care of me. They didn't buy me anything. They were my mentors.
Let me ask you a question. Did you reciprocate? Yeah. Did you
reciprocate what?
What?
I did. I did.
As you do now.
I did. I reciprocated by going also mentoring other young men who didn't have fathers.
Let me ask you another question, and you don't have to answer this question if you don't want
to. Blind leading the blind.
Do you?
I was raising men in my household. I'm talking about helping men who didn't have men.
Give me a second. We're gonna get there. And again, you don't have to answer these questions, but I just want to know. Do you got you a fleet? A couple hoes?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's cool. I'm with you.
Good.
Now, why'd you ask that question? Why?
He ain't gonna tell you the truth if he.
You said, why did I ask that question?
Yeah. Why?
Because we love the hoes, nigga. What you talking about?
You know what?
You don't love the hoes.
When it comes down,
it wasn't a trick question, nigga. We love the hoes.
I thought you were
find the problem.
I think it's very idealistic. What you are proposing, because however, there's a whole lot of problems that existed prior to you or any other man becoming a mentor to these so-called impressionable children. Let's just say these children, these boys are 13, 14, all the way up until 18. 19, 20 years old. How do you then start to solve it for not doing her job? Because this boy is already going down a path that he shouldn't be going down on. Not to mention you're asking other men who also have children who they need to spend their time and put their own time into their own children, but you're asking all these other men to then adopt some other responsibilities of other men to do that.
Yeah, but
okay. What I'm saying is it's not the blind leading the blind. What I'm saying is I grew up with a male in my household. What I'm saying is when I was a younger kid, I'm not saying when they're 13, 14. I'm talking about catching them when they're in elementary age. And you mentor.
Yeah, we can't fix the issues of boys by just getting mentors, right? We have to fix the issue of boys starting with the household. They should be a father in the house already trying to mentor his son. We shouldn't focus and put all the emphasis and resources on outside resources to mentor the boys. They should have a father already. Because if we are trying to mentor boys, that means there's no father in the house. So the root of the problem should be tackled first, which means let's focus on trying to make sure it's a two-parent household. That means we have to make sure the women are involved, not to have babies with men if they're not married to the man. All right, if you want to fuck around and get your cheeks clapped, do as you will. But do not make a baby with a man you're not married to. That would be my first solution. My first solution wouldn't be to ask other men who are not the fathers of these kids to mentor kids from single mother households. That's not going to solve the issue.
Daddy, daddy, that's a stepfather.
You're providing a lot of solutions for men, and I'm not hearing no solutions for women.
You are literally describing the stepfather.
Kendrick, take that back. Take that back.
Hey, man, you know what? Hey, man, hey, keep having y'all problems. Don't mentor nobody. Let them run wild and never solve the problem. But what I'm saying is, I grew up around mentorship, and mentorship had a big impact on my life starting from a little kid. My mentors didn't buy me nothing. They didn't take me nowhere. They didn't do any of that shit. They just mentored me on things on how to move in life. So what I'm saying is,
I think that you're a good guy, bro.
I just ask him one
hearted, very good hearted.
Kendrick, can you hear me, Kendrick?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, but take the part back where you said start them at elementary school. Please, I'm trying to save you from yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm saying start them in elementary school as in mentoring them, man. Who gonna go feel on a simple comment like that?
Would you go to one of them elementary schools and play Santa Claus?
That's one.
Matter of fact, I coach elementary soccer. I coach elementary soccer, and I coach elementary soccer, and the parents and the mothers who bring their sons out there who don't have fathers in their life, I help mentor them with their attitudes and stuff when we're on the field.
So here you go with here you go saving. You got the cape on.
I'm gonna tell you why.
You got the cape on.
I need his channel. He need his channel.
I'll figure Kendrick out. I'll figure Kenny out.
Oh my God, y'all!
That's your play. That's your play.
Why do y'all think he's wrong?
Hold on.
You right, you're not wrong.
That's your play, Kenny.
I know what Canton doing.
Because he know too.
Say it again.
No, because I know that's how some guys be getting on a single mom.
Yep.
They holler at him at the mentor.
No.
It's not right.
Listen, there ain't nothing wrong with coaching a single mom or two at the beginning.
That ain't how I rock. When I coach the kids, I coach the kids, but I do it for the YMCA. I don't do none of that mixing and matching with moms and all this stuff, bro.
I think that you're a good person.
So do we have any solutions
I think
for
that
the
you're
women?
a good person. But I don't think that it's possible to convince a woman not to have a child out of wedlock.
Yeah.
I'm not about to fucking chase around a bunch of badass kids, bro. That ain't mine.
Yeah.
I don't know these niggas. I don't give a fuck about these niggas. That's their daddy problem. That's not my problem. Do I think that dudes like you are a good person? Absolutely. I think that you exercise in futility though, because ain't no way that you're gonna convince a young dude to do something different, and then he still got to go home and deal with his environment and the environment that his mama and his father created. I'm sorry, give me a second, Dalen. You don't know no better. I got you though, baby. I'm gonna let you rock. You can't save these women from themselves. I believe that they have to suffer. There has to be a generation of women that has to suffer. And they have to suffer greatly.
Oh, man.
The one thing that we know that even the word of God tells us. Listen, one of the biggest one of the biggest things that the children of Israel. A lot of y'all need to go and reread that story. For those of y'all that believe, none of them made it to the promised land. He did away with that entire group of people. Yes, he did. He did away with the entire group of original people that he freed. None of them made it to the promised land. One of them, all of them happened. What the fuck was happening? Now, I'm not saying that people can't change. I'm not saying that grace can't be given. But the best that we can do personally is that we have to be the example, but we don't have the capacity or the ability to save.
To try to be mentors and stepfathers for kids who don't have their own fathers. We cannot fix the issue by forcing men to become stepfathers or try to play mentors to kids who don't have their fathers, right? That will never solve the issue. Yeah, just because we have 1,000 mentors to kids who don't have their fathers doesn't mean women are going to stop having kids out of wedlock. Doesn't mean it's going to stop forcing women to have kids with multiple baby daddies, right? For me, if it was up to me, the solution would be there should be a law that if a woman gets a baby, gets pregnant, and gives birth to a baby, and she's not married to the man, they both have to pay a fine for the 18 years of that kid. That would incentivize more people to think twice before they have a baby if they're not married. Honestly,
only thing that we can do is get the beam out of it. This is my personal opinion. Y'all may have a difference of opinion. We can only get the beam out of our own eye. The first step that we need to do is live it ourselves. We had to be the example that we want other people to be. They gonna have to find it. God is the person that brings them out of it. He reveals it. We just have to be the example and the light. So I believe in getting the beam out of your own eye. I believe in taking care of your own family. I also believe that you have to have some level of contribution and giving back. You know what I'm saying? That don't have to be your whole purpose, but you definitely can give back in some form. Some people do it through money. Some people do it with their time. You have to have some form of, I call it tithing. Tithing can be in a lot of different ways, and it's a lot of ways that people go about contributing into society.
That's church, right?
But we cannot have this on our conscience like it's our responsibility to save the world. It will kill you. It will destroy you. You will think that you are doing something good, and then somebody will burn you and break your heart, and it'll turn you evil. It'll turn your heart cold. So you're going to have to start balancing it out. And I'm not speaking to you based off of an ideal circumstance. I'm trying to give you wisdom. Wisdom says that you have to pick and choose your battles, that you have to figure out where you can make a difference and when you can't. And where you can't, you got to pull back, and you got to understand that some people are destined to die. Some people are destined to die off. Some people are built to be on this earth, to be the demons, to balance out the people that are the angels. I'm just telling you the truth. And so my biggest thing is, and I know that I haven't said this in a long time, but man, fuck them kids, bro.
Come on.
Listen, bro. Listen.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
Responsibility.
I say that.
Fuck them
Yes,
kids.
you can.
No, I'm not taking. I don't play another man's save game. I'm not taking care of another nigga's kids.
it is.
It's a form of
Y'all
sex.
just made it all
But
about
He's right, because if those kids out there, if those kids had their own fathers in the house, men wouldn't have to be stepfathers. Men wouldn't have to be mentors, right? Men wouldn't have to go take care of try to be the captain, save to these single mothers' kids, right? So we should preach for people to stay together in a marriage. Man and woman, stay together, take care of your kids, right? Teach them better, rather than let's have kids out here and let's hope that other men will come in to save the day. Like it's not working clearly, right? So we cannot focus and depend on other people to raise other people's kids. We need to take responsibility for our own kids. That's the only way the shit is going to get better.
Children.
But to answer,
One mic.
You're not talking to a person that's just talking it. You're talking to a person that has done it. I've taken young dudes into my own house.
Why?
Because I thought that it was the right thing to do.
Exactly.
But it wasn't.
You picked the wrong little niggas.
No, I didn't pick the wrong little niggas.
The little niggas.
No. The little niggas' mamas picked the wrong daddy to have a kid with.
That's the responsibility.
Listen. I don't listen to women. Even
Yo, Anton, what exactly?
I love the fact that women give their perspective, and I like the contrast. I personally don't listen to women. I agree with that. Talk about what a woman says.
Yeah.
I know what's right and what's wrong, and I know God has taught me through experience that you can't save nobody. You can only be the example.
We can save the children if you come
doing a single. You gotta let everybody. You gotta let it.
We can't keep saving the kids and then people just keep making more kids. You know what I mean? Because think about it. If we don't hold people who have kids out of wedlock responsible and then there are programs that help these kids, people are just going to keep making more kids without getting married. If there are no consequences, like I said, imagine they put a tax. If a man and woman make a baby and they're not married, they're going to pay a certain tax for the 18 years of that kid. Guess what? Most people are going to stop having babies if they're not married. We need to put consequences. Otherwise, if we focus on helping the kids rather than holding the man and woman who had sex and made a baby responsible, they're just going to keep doing it. And that's what's going on right now. There are so many programs out here to help single mothers, kids, to help kids who don't have both parents, to help kids whose parents are in jail. There's so many programs like that. But guess what? That hasn't stopped people from having babies out of wedlock.
Not all kids can be saved.
One generation.
You don't know that, Mike, unless you.
Dalen, you just proved it. You just proved it. You just proved it by saying you picked the wrong kid.
You know why we help people?
Mike, y'all.
All right, let me really get into this. I was trying to be nice. You know why we help people? We help people to make ourselves feel good.
It's the most selfish act you can ever do.
We don't help people because we want them to win. Most of the time when we help other people, like through some act of charity, when people go out during the holiday season and Thanksgiving and they do volunteer work, they don't do it because they actually want people to win, because it will take a lot bigger commitment. Most people do it because they want to feel good about themselves.
Validation and ego, yeah.
That's why they do it.
And film it.
So, and I'm not saying everybody, because when you do a labor of love, you have to see it through. You can't just bring them in and then you got to let them go. It makes it even worse. You do it even worse. You do a worse disservice for people.
Making a TikTok video.
So I don't give a fuck if who agree and who don't agree. But my point is this, is that there has to be, I used to say one generation of people, there has to be at least 2 generations of people that got to die off.
You bugging, man.
There has to be, listen. There has to be like an erasing of
Thanos.
2 generations of people's toxic thinking and behavior that has been infected, because all we're doing right now is passing down generational curses. You can't fix a problem. You have to literally kill it off.
You right, Anton, but you too harsh with that shit.
Oh man,
he's being honest.
Oh, you right.
You know, all right.
Being honest.
I don't think he's saying how it should be. I think he's saying how it is.
Do you know why? You know why God flooded the earth?
I know.
Why didn't he fix people? Why did he just flood the earth?
Because it was all of them bad. They had to go.
But he said he would never
couldn't
do
find
it.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Why did God destroy the earth?
One mic, y'all. One mic.
He destroyed whole cities. He flooded the whole earth. He didn't go and fix people. He killed it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why?
Because they was all evil.
Yeah.
No. Let's start anew.
They was evil.
I'm not saying nothing that's crazy. Y'all just refuse to accept it because you don't want to deal with the reality of what we're facing right now. All we own is a pathway to destruction, and I'm just enjoying a ride.
So what's gonna happen to you?
What do you mean? I'm going to heaven.
How you know? If we all go, how they gonna separate us?
I don't know what y'all doing. I know I'm going to heaven.
Selfish bastard.
I was saying,
you know what? Going to heaven.
One mic, y'all.
Going to heaven is a form of selfishness. You know why? Because salvation is individual. It's not a group activity. It's an individual activity.
Yeah, basically, in the way I understand it, basically you choose to do right when everyone is doing evil. Even if the evil is, sometimes fun. But what he's saying really is that, and which I believe, we can have all these conversations, but at the end of the day, if we don't go back to the roots, to the foundation of having a mom and father in the house to raise kids to be better people, and then we're trying to force other people to come in and play stepfather, play stepmother, and then we're trying to focus on other people outside the house to come and try to be the father and the mother to these kids, it's never going to change until we fix the root of the problem, which means people should stop having babies if they're not married. Until we fix that, it's going to take generations. It's going to take maybe 1,000 years because it's going to be a cycle. right? Because the chances of a boy and a girl growing up to both be single parents is very high if they come from a household where they didn't see the marriage between a mom and dad. They're going to do the same thing that the dad did and the mother did because they're like, oh, that's how I grew up. That means it's right. If my mother had 5 baby daddies, I can have 2. I can have 3. I mean, my mother did it. You know what I mean? It's the same cycle. It's the curse, the generational curse being passed on from generation to generation.
Loving family, you can't be thinking like that. Anthony, you gotta tone that down.
Salvation is a selfish act. It is doing what you gotta do to get into heaven. That is it. It's an individual activity. This is not a group. This is not a group activity, big dog.
Can't take everybody with you.
He has a responsibility. We all have a responsibility to our family, but at the end of the day, he's got to be responsible to God. He's got to answer to God.
That's correct.
All of us.
That is 100% correct.
If you don't try to fix the problem, you soon will become a victim of it. That's why.
No, I don't. No,
no. How do you fix that?
Problem that I do. Wait a minute, shit. You went on CNN or Fox as a commentator once, and I remember you telling.
No, I went on 4 times, but we'll get there.
Oh, I'm sorry. The one time I saw you were saying.
I just want to make sure that we got my accolades right.
Your biggest fear was a knucklehead breaking into your car, and I'm like, well, that's a reasonable fear, but it's like we have to do what we can do to save our youth, and y'all are looking at it like we don't want to do these bitches no favor. Well, then do the damn kids a favor because they didn't ask to be here.
Oh, I don't.
That's what women always do. They always want to use the kids as emotional manipulation to get a man to do something.
Who's manipulating?
It's always men gotta step up. I haven't heard no women say anything yet because the problem is with the women.
We do. So should we defund Big Brother?
Yeah.
I'm just saying we need to get let's get to the root of the issue. Let's really get to the root of the problem.
We should defund Big
When
Brother.
has Big Brother ever been on the news doing a whole bunch of a whole bunch of benefit to the community?
Big sister, little
I ain't
sister,
never
little
heard of them becoming a big, huge benefit to society.
Defund gay brother, sassy brother, all of them.
I might be old fashioned, but if I see a lady, young lady, whatever, and I'm attracted to, and I talk to her, and she says she got a couple of kids, I'll be like a little, like, oh really? Like, but if I if I love her from, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna love the kids too. I'm gonna take care. Nah, man, come on.
You can't love a woman off the rip without kids. Like that's a turn on.
No, bro. You know, you gotta see, Temple, you gotta be like Snoop. You gotta kick that little nigga Ford over.
Nah, I think y'all could just leave women where they at. Just leave them where they at. Yes,
yes. Is that really what you're doing? Or you aligning yourself with what men say?
I think women should be left to be the independent women that they said they wanted to be.
No, fuck you hoes. We're not talking about them.
Independence also
is the reason why we got this problem with the kids.
They're the problem. So who are we talking about? I
think women who are also in the same position.
Focus on them. It's always going to be a woman somewhere. Women, it's a lot of women in this world. Men should focus on themselves and take care of the women that want to be taken care of. The masculine one over there that want to work all day, let her work all day. Like don't worry about them. Don't worry about the nose ring. Let's not worry about the cat ladies. Leave them with their cats. Leave them with their problems. Leave them with their working job. Leave them there. Leave them over there.
Okay,
and
so
take care of the women that want to be taken care of. Like
there you go. Like, so the women who do want to be taken care of, the women who are position,
the women that want to fall in line, the women that want to follow a program, the women that want to listen and want to actually be.
One mic, y'all. One mic.
Work with the women who want to fix the problem. Don't work with the women who are
what she's saying is that.
And you guys notice when it comes to this issue of single parents, it's always the men being told to be stepfathers. You guys have noticed it's always a real man will step up, right? A real man will take care of another man's kids. We never hear the other side of the story of what a real woman would do. We never hear about women telling other women to play stepmothers. Oh no, we never hear about that side, right? It's always this man should come in and take care of another man's kids. This man should be kind enough. Oh, this man should take care of another man's kids because that's the right thing to do. How come we never hear women telling other women to try to be stepmothers to men who are single fathers? Right? We never hear that side of the story. You guys have noticed that? Double standards.
The problem. And that's just what that is.
Dalen,
you're missing it though. You're missing it though.
I'm not missing it.
What you don't understand is Aaliyah
She doesn't get it.
Aaliyah has gone to the school of wifery, hosted by Anton Daniels. Aaliyah has gone to the school of wifery, hosted by Anton Daniels. So
Did she get a diploma?
The women she's referring to
absolutely
are already in relationships.
She's on her way to being valedictorian.
Oh my God!
They're already in relationships.
All I'm saying is that
you got to give her the award in person.
Yeah,
all I'm saying is that women
in-person graduation.
I got a trophy for you.
The ones that want to be taken care of, the ones that want to be taken care of, they're in relationships. They're with that man.
Yeah.
And that's
What are you saying? All right.
It is impossible. If a woman right now today, hold on, let me make this point. Hold on, Ali. Let me make this point. Let me make this point real quick.
Wait, but I don't even know what she's saying though. Like,
hold on, real quick. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you. What
I know that's why I was trying to stop so you can.
Yeah, no. Let her finish.
Let her
finish. Dalen.
She's going to go.
I think asking me a question or what you trying to tell me?
Dalen, you got to let her finish.
Mike is about to say something.
Oh, who am I letting?
No, Aaliyah has the floor.
Okay.
Oh no, I was just saying because I really don't understand what Dalen was saying anyways, like because
No, Dalen wants men to be stepfathers because the kids didn't ask to be here. Guess what? Those kids' mamas decided to get them cheeks clapped and they're not married and bring those kids into this life. So why is she using the kids? Oh, but it's not the kids' fault. Okay, whose fault is that? The baby mamas. So let them fix it. Don't ask other men, especially the men who don't have kids, to come and clean up. No.
I wanted to give her the chance to actually explain what she is trying to say because I don't know what she's trying to say.
I think that we focus too much on looking at the women who are contributing to not making sure that their sons, let's just say their sons specifically, are not molded into productive members of society. But I do also think that there are mothers that always put their best foot forward. We have widows out here. We have mothers who have husbands who are pilots, who are surgeons, who work overseas on the road, and they just don't always have that support in the household. I think that those young boys also can be subjugated to fall into the wrong tracks, and we can focus on helping those households because we can say, you know what? We see that the mother is putting in the work. We can build organizations like Big Brother. We can focus on making sure we can do what we can do as a society and as contributing members of our communities to make sure that our children are going to be productive members of society. Instead of looking at it through the lens of, I don't want to help a bitch out. I don't want to help these independent women out. Well, what about the women that don't have these stupid ass ideologies and being dismissive towards the men?
How are we supposed to differentiate between the independent women and the women who actually need help? Because they're all friends. It's not like it's only a group of women who are traditional, who respect men, who are submissive, who are nice to men. They usually have friends who are independent and they usually all together. How are men supposed to pick and choose? Oh, yeah, she's feminine. Oh, she's submissive. Oh, no, she's independent. Oh, no, they all have jobs. And most times they claim that they all don't need a man. It's very hard to find just a small group of women who believe in traditional gender roles. They're all mixed together. How are men supposed to pick and choose and be like, oh, yeah, that one over there, yeah, she'll work? How are we supposed to see that?
Be in relationships.
Really quick.
Hard to tell.
Those women would be with
Mike, y'all let Leah
Point, Titus. I want to hear what Titus has to say, but go ahead, Leah.
No, I was just saying because those women are not asking for help. You know, the ones that you were listing, the good women, you like, let's take the attention off the problem and focus on the problem. We have to talk about it. Like, we can't keep trying to switch the topic and switch the focus has to be on where the root of the problem is the single mother households, no fathers. That's where the problem is. So we have to focus there. You cannot that's like if your neighbor's house is on fire and your house is on fire, are you gonna go use the water to help your neighbor, or are you gonna stop your house from burning? We have to focus here. The problem is the single mothers.
What metric of measure are you using to say that the problem is in the single mother's household? Why do we say, well,
so we all know, wait. So we're not going to be disingenuous here. We all know that single father households, the results of single father households are tremendously better than single mother households. We all know that. If that's true, then that means, what does that mean?
The absence of the father is detrimental to the community.
Now, why is now we all know that women like to push the father. We know how women are. Let's not be naive to the nature of a woman. A woman's born, she likes to push the daddy out. She likes to use the kids as leverage. You know that. So if women like to push the men out, we have to get to the root of the problem. The men are not in the home. I understand you want to blame men, but women have to take some sort of accountability at some point.
Oh my God, Delene, just shut up for 1 second. Let Aaliyah cook. Oh my goodness.
At some point, women have to take some accountability.
So that's pertinent to them. What you're doing is making sure that you're aligning your talking points with the manosphere.
It's not a talking point. She
spoke specifically to the point that you made.
What I'm saying.
She spoke specifically to the point that you made. You use women that are surgeons and all of this other type of stuff.
Single women.
And they had whatever, and that had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Yes, it does. The whole point is that people. Well, if we want to talk about absent fathers, we say that they're absent.
That's not that. Wait.
We talk about single mothers.
We getting away from it.
Doesn't make any sense. We getting
away from it.
That do that.
Women are tired. Should we give a fuck?
No, no, because they said they wanted to be independent. They're making money. They have businesses. They own hair salons. They sell lashes. They sell clothes. They got big businesses. They're driving Rolls Royces. They own big buildings. They have rental properties. Those are the things they usually lease, right? They go on vacations every 2 to 3 business days. They're on trips. They're making money, so they don't need men. So if they're tired, that's on them. That was their choice. They said we're not living in 1950, so we should not expect them to be traditional. So, which means everything a man can do, they can do. So men shouldn't care if they're tired of working and paying bills. They got it. They're independent. Who am I to disrespect women who say they're independent and they can do everything a man can do? That would be dumb.
Hell no.
Wait, but what does Martin Luther King say, Kendrick? Don't he look like Martin Luther King?
You picking on Kendrick?
That's why we're not going to.
If I had a dream, tell say that. Kendrick, please say it.
I don't think that men should care because the problem has grown. Men shouldn't care. Men should focus on the women that want to be taken care of. They shouldn't focus on the women that tired themselves
Hold on, Shampoo. I get it, Aaliyah. I am very disappointed as well at the amount of women in abundance that have been a contributing factor to the issues that we have now. I'm not negating that. But what I am telling you is that for any metric of measure to say that the reason these households are absentee fathers are because
I had a dream.
Food stamps over these men, or choosing welfare checks over these men, or because they want to be independent. We're going to talk about fatherless households. Let's also address the fathers. Is it real baby mama drama or your own selfishness that won't allow you to be present? That's also what I'm talking about. So I get what you're saying. We don't need to care about the women and saving them. We need to save the children. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saving
them. The children are the
like I said, men shouldn't care. Men should direct their energy to the women that deserve it. And the women.
If the woman is destroying the family household by divesting herself from the man, then unfortunately she made a bunch of decisions, and those children are going to suffer, unfortunately. But
but they don't even care about the kids. If women really cared about the kids, they would be going to courts, to family court, and telling the judge, let's go 50-50 custody. But usually they ask judges to give them full custody so that they can get more child support from the man. If women really cared about the kids, I mean, women are for the kids, right? They would go to family court and ask the judge, hey, judge, I really care about my kids. I really understand how important fathers are in kids' lives. So I would love to get the kids 50% of the time, Monday to Wednesday, and then the father can get them Thursday to Saturday. All right, judge, I don't need too much money from him. I just want him to have the kids at least half the time so that he can spend time with the kids, because fathers are very important. But do most women do that? No, most women go to the judge. Oh, he's abusive. He's controlling. My kids don't want him. My kids feed him. I want to have all the kids to myself, but he needs to pay us child support. That's what most women go to the judges to say, right?
However, your solution, Dalen, is, let's still help out the mothers who aren't with men, who are not with men, but out here working and struggling, having a hard time. Let's make them feel a little bit better. But what Aaliyah is saying is that if your mindset's already aligned with being with a man, then you will move, and you're going to find yourself in a relationship. Yep. You're going to find yourself in a relationship.
I do believe, but how would you find yourself in that relationship if someone is interested in? And I never said we're helping out the mothers. I asked y'all that question. Are you thinking we should not?
By helping our kids, you helping her mother. Helping
it's not about doing a favor. It's about giving the kids a fucking chance.
Fuck them kids.
The kids can have a chance if they father is in the household.
Mother's responsibility.
You know, telling me to help another nigga kid.
The kids can have a chance if their father was at home.
Mm-hmm.
The kids can have a chance if their mother is not
daddy.
Selfish.
To give a point from the middle.
Bitter.
Where his daddy at? Call his daddy.
Dalen, go ahead.
That little nigga daddy.
Yo, from the middle in between the two arguments. What if his family members is
Darlene, shut up. Let another person talk.
Oh my God.
You better call his daddy. That's all I gotta say. I ain't got time for this shit.
That's it.
We just need to call Kendrick.
Already got too many mouths to feed.
Just save y'all. Just save all the kids. Kendrick will save all the kids.
No. But seriously, in all seriousness, the only way you can solve this problem is by removing women's rights and taking them back to 1940.
Yeah.
And
that ain't never happened.
That's the only way you can do it is by taking them back to 1940. If we can't remove their ability to self-inflict harm, then this shit ain't gonna never work.
Voting. That's right.
We wasting our time. And we going in circles because we can't stop women from sleeping with who they want to sleep with. Mm-hmm. We can't stop them from saying my body, my choice. We can't stop them from having an egregious amount of children.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying.
So let me ask you a serious question.
Why?
He's right, because no matter how many men decide to be stepfathers, no matter how many men decide to step up to help the kids, to help the single moms, as long as we don't hold the single moms responsible, more women are going to become single moms. It's going to be, that's why it's happening right now. Because there are so many programs that help single moms. There's so many programs that help kids that come from single parent households. But the reason is there's still the cycle going on and more women are still having kids without being married is because they've never been held accountable. That's why I suggested at the beginning of this video, if you guys are watching, I said, if this shit is to change, the government needs to put a tax on both the men and the women who decide to have kids when they're not married. If you have a baby and you're not married, you're going to pay tax every single year for 18 years for that kid, so that the government doesn't have to hustle, so that other people are not, taxed being to take care of the kids. Because remember, if a woman and a man have a baby, and they can't take care of that baby, you who's paying tax who's going to take care of the baby, right? So the people who have kids and they're not married, they should pay tax, more tax actually.
White liberal women are the ones that got Mom Donnie over there in New York. They got Kirsten or whatever her name, Kristen Wilson over there in Seattle. You can't stop these hoes from doing what they want to do. You can't stop a hoe. You're right.
Yeah.
I agree with you. They respectable women, but you can't stop them. So unless y'all willing to surrender your rights, then fuck them kids. Now, if it becomes our responsibility and our responsibility solely because we got all of the power, then I'll take ultimate responsibility as a culture. But as long as y'all can do what y'all want to do, then y'all got to reap the rewards and the benefits for how it is that y'all put yourself in this position in the first place. Don't say your body, your choice, but his responsibility to fix this little motherfucker that I just had. That's your responsibility. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Fuck that little nigga.
I agree. If you make the baby, that's your responsibility. It shouldn't be another man's responsibility. You know, and this is what I was saying. We only hear about men becoming real men and becoming stepfathers. Where are the women who want to be stepmothers? We never hear that side of the story, right? Because there's plenty of men who have custody of their kids. There's plenty of single fathers taking care of their kids. I've never heard women championing other women to become stepmothers. We never hear about that side of the story. We only hear about men should step up. A real man should step up. A real man should be kind to another man's kids. A real man should take care of another man's kids. That's the narrative we hear. We never hear the other side of the story.
That's
cold.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yo, Martin, you can't go for that shit.
That ain't love it. I love the kids.
No. I know what Kendrick's thing is. Kendrick got we all got our own way.
He got a cape on.
He wasn't wrong.
He got good heart. He got this. He gets to his a little different than we do. He has a heart.
All right, and in the end of the video, but shout out to Anton Daniels. This was a good panel. This was a good topic, good discussion. I know some of you guys don't agree.